Once a printed part is removed from the build plate, it's time to remove the attached support material. Some material can be removed by hand. In other cases, removing supports can be made easier by using a small set of cutters or even needle nose pliers. Because the process can be tedious, it's recommended to optimize the amount of support material in the slicer software to minimize how much it will generate. When using an FDM printer such as the Ultimaker or Dremel models shown here, the orientation of the part in the slicer software can aid in reducing the amount of supports or the need for them entirely. In the case of printing an open-ended box, if you printed it with the open end on one side, you'd need to add supports. However, if you printed it standing up with the open end at the top, you wouldn't need any additional supports. With the introduction of PVA material and being able to use it in a dual extruder machine, such as the Ultimaker 3 we're using, you can print water-soluble support material that only requires a tank of water to remove the support material as shown. While it may take longer to complete, it also allows for internal support structure that you wouldn't be able to get at to remove otherwise. Raft material can also be difficult to remove. However, using a raft can be helpful in printing large parts on an FDM printer. When printing a part using an SLA printer, such as this Formlabs model, the part is typically printed at an angle intentionally, and support material is added by default. Oftentimes, these supports can be removed by hand. However, using small cutting tools may also be needed. Because these parts are made from liquid resin, the parts may still have excess resin coating its exterior. This resin can be removed by washing it by hand with isopropyl alcohol. Excess UV resin used in the Form 2 machine is easily removed by using their specially designed machine called the Form Wash. It's optimized for removing all the remaining resin simply by agitating the solution while the parts are submerged and lifting them out to air dry when complete. There's also a lid that keeps the alcohol fumes contained inside the machine. Parts average about 15 minutes of soak time to complete. Resin parts also need some time to cure under UV light. This can be done by placing them in contact with sunlight for a period of time. Formlabs also created the Form Cure machine that rotates the part on a turntable while shining UV light directly onto the part. It also includes a heating system that preheats to get the parts ready for optimum post-curing. Both processes help solidify the part to the correct material properties after it's been cleaned. Before investing too much time in the post-processing of a part, it's best to visually inspect the part to make sure that all features are there, in case it needs to be printed again. Because the part will tend to dimensionally change for a short period of time after it's printed, it's best to ignore any sort of dimensional issues until after it's cured, and you can verify if it will work to meet your needs. Once the parts are clean, and most of the support material has been removed, the use of some fine sandpaper or fine microfiles will aid in removing leftover support attachment points. Layer lines can also be smoothed out by sanding. This will help to achieve a smooth, finished part, which gets much closer to the final look and feel of the part.